the basic coaching of triathlon. Okay? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to give the floor to the president of the UCSSC. He had been with me on 2025 Christmas and New Year, okay? And he hosted my visit in Abra and Vegan for almost 30 days. I've been there. He he was spending all of the expenses for me to reach out with the area in those coaching areas of Vegan and Abra. Now, we would like to welcome the noble and passionate coach who is helping the cycling and running, okay, helping athletes, not charging, giving all his efforts to help coaches also in Abra. We would like to welcome the president of the UCSSC, none other than Coach Jewel Calvo. Coach, the floor is yours.
I'm Coach Joel, an active triathlete, marathoner, and also cyclist and swimmer. About this slide. Okay, next slide, please. I just want to read the introduction and the history of triathlon first. Well, I will give you the history of triathlon so that you have an idea where does it starts. So triathlon have grown from a niche activity to a globally recognized sport, combining swimming, cycling, and running. Triathlon tests an athlete endurance, versatility, and mental fortitude. The journey of triathlon from their inception to their current status is a fascinating tale of passion, innovation, and community. How did these growing sports come to be? And how it is evolved over the years? Let's dive into the fascinating history of triathlon as a sport. From their humble beginnings to the global phenomenon they are today. Next slide, please. The birth of triathlon. The birth of triathlon are often attributed to a race held in France in early 1900s, known as Les Trias Sports. This event consisted of a 3-kilometer run, a 12-kilometer bike ride, and a swim across the Mille Channel. Similar multi-sports events were held sporadically over the next few decades, primarily in Europe. The correct of combining multiple endurance events into a single race isn't entirely new. In fact, the origins of multi-sports events can be traced back to early 20th century in France, where a race called Les Tries Sports. The three sports featuring running, cycling, and canoeing, or what you call this canoeing. Before, canoeing is called paddling in a boat before they start. In the early 1920s, the canoeing portion was replaced with swimming. So they did change into a swimming, not a canoeing or paddling already. This event consisted of a 3-kilometer run, a 12-kilometer bike ride, and a swim across the Marne Channel. Similar multi-sports events were held sporadically over the next few decades, primarily in Europe. The modern triathlon, as we know it today, has its roots in 1970s in California. On September 25, 1974, the San Diego Track Club organized the first official triathlon event. This event was conceived by John Johnston and Don Shanahan and took place at Mission Bay, San Diego. It consists of 3-kilometer run, a 5-mile bike ride, and a 500-yard swim. A total of 46 athletes participated in the race. This event marked the birth of the modern triathlon and set the stage for the sport's future growth. The early years go. The success of the San Diego event sparked interest in the new sport, and similar races began popping up across California. Expansion across the United States, the early growth of triathlon was primarily centered in the United States. Clubs and organizations began to form, hosting local events that attracted increasing number of participants. The sport's growth was organic, fueled by word of mouth and an enthusiastic sports support of its early adopters. These grassroots efforts laid the foundation for the establishment of more structured and larger scale events. Next slide, please. Coach, next slide.
Yeah, it's the role of media and publications.
Well, the role of media and publications. In the late 1970s and early 80s, magazines such as Sports Illustrated began featuring stories about triathlon and athletes who competed in them. These articles brought the support to a broader audience, highlighting the extraordinary physical and mental challenges involved. Television network soon followed, broadcasting coverage as major events and captivating viewers with the drama and excitement of triathlon races. The Ironman. In February 1978, the first around the island triathlon event was held in Honolulu, Hawaii, organized by U.S. Navy Commander John Collins and his wife Judy. This race combined three existing endurance events on the island: the Waikiki Rough Water Swim. It consists of 2.4 miles, the around Oahu Bike Race on 112 miles, and the Honolulu Marathon, which is 26.2 miles. This wearing event, which would later become known as the Ironman Triathlon, was designed to settle a debate about which athletes were the fittest swimmer, cyclist, or runner, as John Collins said before the race, whoever finished first will call him the Ironman. The first Ironman had only 15 participants, with Gordon Holler becoming the inaugural champion, finishing in 11 hours, 46 minutes, and 58 seconds. Each participant was expected to carry their own food and water. Participants kept their bikes locked away in their cars so nobody would steal them during the swim. The Hawaii Ironman gained significant publicity in 1982, where Julie Moss, a college student competing to gather research for her exercise physiology thesis, collapsed just yards from the finish line. Despite crawling to complete the race, she was passed by Kathleen McCartney in the final moment. The dramatic finish was broadcast on ABC Wide's World of Sports, catapulting the sport into the national spotlight. So let's dive into the basic fundamental in triathlon. Triathlon is a multi-sports event that consists of three continuous disciplines: swimming, as I said, bike, and running. Here are some basic fundamentals to get started. Swimming, breathing technique. Practice breathing every 2 strokes to maintain a steady rhythm. So, in triathlon, you need to convince first yourself or your athlete or your student to train first their mind, secondly the body. Why? Because this is extreme endurance. It consists of three discipline. That's what we call the three discipline is the swim, bike, and running. So breathing technique, especially when go into open water swimming, you need to practice all the techniques you wanted to. Why? Especially in taking the breathing in open water. Why did I say that? You need to practice bilateral breathing, especially when the water or waves comes into your face. you cannot continues your technique in swimming, especially you don't know how the bilateral breathing. When the wave comes into your face, you know how to indirect the other way so that the water will not comes into your face and you can either accidentally swallow water. So you need to practice especially bilateral breathing. Second, body position. Keep your body streamlined and horizontal in the water. What you call this one? You need to position your body and you need to mind the techniques on swimming by using uh, paddling and kicking. When when in when in the water, open water, swimming race, you need not to exaggerate it and you need to focus on your paddle and kicking. Not always do your kicking. Instead, you need to focus on a single stroke, like you do paddling, and when you're what you call that, when you're exhausted in paddling, use your kicking. Take note, when you do in open water, uh, you need to focus every time, especially when the athlete pass through to your in front of you. You need the proper technique. So that's why that is very important. Not always using a power kicking or a power paddle. You need to switch on that. You need to paddle first, and when you feel that you are tired in paddling, you need also to focus on your kicking. Third, stroke efficiency, as what I said before. Bike fit. Ensure your bike is properly fitted to your body to avoid discomfort and injury. Or what you call this one? Be sure that when you purchase a bike or using a bike for you, you must they have a proper measurement for your height. So what I want to tell you this one is go for the specialist or the bike fitter that will measure all about your how you kick, because there is a power meter that they are using, and especially they are very accurate in your measurement with your bike fit. Pedaling technique. Focus on smooth circular paddling motion. So when pedaling technique, you need also connect with the what you call this one, speed test, also the cadence. So that is a very important to do in triathlon, especially when the race event happen. Gear management, learn to shift gears efficiently to converge energy. That's what I call. You need also the gear. You need to master all your gears, especially when climbing up, going to the mountain. So you need the technique, and especially you need to focus on your speed. Because why did I say that? Because there is there are three disciplines, so you need to distribute all your uh, speed or effort and contribute all the discipline so that you can perform well, especially on the last discipline, that is the running. So you need to divide or what you call contribute all the discipline. Running posture. Maintain good posture with your head up, shoulder relaxed, and feet landing mid-foot. Foot strike, try to land mid-foot or forefoot instead of heel striking. Breathing, practice deep rhythmic breathing so stay relaxed. So when running, you need to practice gradually. First, first and foremost, you need to practice the walking first. So gradually increase walking until you program yourself. You need to program or make a training program that your program is gradually increase. So I will say that because in my experience, I always make sure to it that I will make a training program that it will gradually increase the speed, endurance, and also the time finish. So you need to jot down or you need to take note in every three discipline. Why? Because that is a very important when you do racing. Especially in my knowledge as a active triathlete and also in coaching others. So basic skills and knowledge are important, but also with experience because experience alone uh, will not complete if you have no knowledge. Because when you do combine with that skills and knowledge, especially with experience, you can what you call this give also your experience and knowledge to your athlete or students. Transition. Transition area setup. Organize your gear into a logical and efficient manner. Quick changes, practice changing, quick and efficiently between discipline. Transition strategy, plan your transition to minimize time and energy expenditure. Well, this transition is what we call the, let's say for instance, you finish on swimming and you go for first transition is the bike. So you need to practice all that before the race happen. Why? Because when racing, also again, you need to shut down your time in a transition one and a transition two. Transition two is bike to run. Transition one is swim to bike. So you need to practice all that matters so that you can execute properly. Sprint triathlon typically consists, when we say sprint, that is only a short distance. The mid distance is what we call 50.50 and 70.3. The full distance of triathlon, it consists of almost a 5 kilometer swim, a 190 kilometer bike, and 42.100 kilometer run, a marathon run. That is a full distance. But sprint, that is typically when you do a first timer and you have to compete, you need to do first the sprint before you go on and so forth. The sprint triathlon typically consists of a distance swim 750 meters or a 0.47 miles, bike 20 kilometers or 12.4 miles. The run, it consists of 5 kilometers only. The training program to prepare for a sprint triathlon focus on building your endurance and speed in each discipline. Here's a sample training program. Swim training, interval training, 4 by 6 by 250 meter at moderate pace with 20 to 30 seconds rest in between intervals. Endurance swim, 1,000 to 1,500 meter at a steady state pace. Third, sprint interval, 8 to 12 by 50 meter at high intensity with 15 to 30 seconds rest between intervals. With the bike training, interval training, 4 by 6 by 4 by 6 minutes at high intensity with 2 to 3 minutes rest between intervals. Endurance. Endurance ride, 30 to 45 minutes at a steady state pace. Sprint intervals, 8 to 12 by 1 to 2 minutes at high intensity with 1 to 2 minutes rest intervals. Run training. Interval training, 46 by 800 meter at moderate pace with 400-meter interval active recovery between intervals. Endurance runs, 30 to 45 minutes at a steady state pace. Sprint interval, 8 to 12 by 200 or 400 meter at high intensity with 200 meter active recovery between intervals. So, what did I do in also in swimming? Day one, I did was a distance or a time with a 30 minutes like jog. Second day, also I did my bike with a 5 kilometer, and so with the running, because bike and running alone what I did is, for example, I did the 3 kilometer run times 2 with the bike because it is very easy to ride, not even with the running. Transition training. Brick workouts combined with two disciplines in one session, such as bike to run or swim to bike. Transition drills practice transitioning quickly and efficiently between disciplines. So, in transition, brick workout is what we call bike to run or swim to bike. You also need to practice that. For example, you already did the easy run, easy bike, and easy swim for the day one, or that we call you complete the whole week for that easy run, easy bike, and easy swim. So the second week alone, you need to gradually increase and do also the speed works. So you need to combine with those speed works, interval works, and also with the uh, all kinds of discipline. So you need all to practice from bike to run and swim to bike. So after that week, the whole week or the second week, jump into the third week, you need to combine all three disciplines. And take note, when you do that time trial in three disciplines, so you need to combine all three disciplines. So you need to jot down your time from swim, bike, and running, and then combine all your timing with that three disciplines so that you know how to do and you know how to what you call this one the equal sum of your performance. So because if you do not jot down or take note on your time, you cannot evaluate how or where is your weakness and forte. That's all. And one thing more I want to say, what I did also on my athletes, because as I said before, knowledge and skills combining with experience is enough for you to coach, to teach or coach a student, because skills alone or knowledge alone, and you have to coach you need to teach students or coaching about triathlon. If you don't have the experience, that is not enough. So you need also that combining skills, knowledge, and experience, so that when your athlete asking you something or want to know something, you can depend, or with your experience as a triathlete or as a coach, you know all the answer from your all the answer that question you all your athletes. So that's all, and thank you. So any question, coach?
So that was fabulous. Thanks for that insight. Say, can I ask you some questions about indoors and outdoors? Now, how much do you swim outdoors compared to how much do you swim indoors? Do you have good conditions for lake swimming or ocean swimming?
Yes, coach. When it comes to indoor swimming, coach, in the pool, especially much larger in a swimming training than the open water, because what I did in a indoor swimming, coach, is combining all the endurance and the speed works, like what we are teaching in swimming. That's what I also implementing all my athletes. So when it comes also to outdoor swimming, so especially when we do the sprint distance, you need to swim that all distance, especially let me say 3 kilometer. You need to swim all kilometer, and what you practice in the indoor swimming is what you need to apply on the open water swimming.
So is your training just, I know it's going to depend on where you live, but I was sort of wondering, how much do you swim outdoors to how much do you swim indoors? Does it matter by the time of year, or the days per week?
A
You know,
days per week, coach, it will gradually increase. We start with uh, short distance, and then later on it will gradually increase. Same thing with the open water swim.
and then what about cycling? Do you ever cycle indoors on the trainer, or is
Yeah,
it
yeah,
always
we do,
outdoor?
yes, yes, we do also the bike trainer indoor. What I did to my athlete also in their bike trainer is we did a 1 hour bike training, and when we go out, especially in cycling road, we also did the what you call this one, long ride. When we say long ride, uh, not less than 1 hour, and
What
not less than 30 kilometers. We do that long ride in cycling.
what are the traffic conditions on those long rides? Are you I get nervous when the kids are all together on a group ride and
About the traffic here in the our part, especially in Ilocos, coach. There's no traffic here. That's why only at the Manila part or the Manila city is there's heavy traffic there. When we talk about traffic here in Ilocos, there's no traffic here because there's a wide road here in Ilocos, especially uh, when I did the route in cycling. What I did is the very safe way road to practice, not into a very traffic part. So what I did is into the what you call this one? We call it interiores part or hilly part. There's
It's
no
actually
there's
it's
no
actually a
many
highway.
vehicle that they
Usually
around there.
they usually choose a highway where
Yeah.
it's quite safe. Yeah.
very good. And then when you take those group rides with the younger athletes, how many riders are there? 3 or 4 or 10 or 20? Like how does it
Not less than
vary?
at least coach not less than 5 members when we do the group ride
Very
because
good.
it is much safer when we do it as a group.
Definitely. Yeah, that's great.
So my question is it advisable to have all the discipline in one session, or maybe the same day, different session, or different days? You separate them different days, or each day maybe with a separate discipline,
Coach,
different discipline. Is it advisable to have like all the discipline coached in a single session? You do the discipline in a different session, maybe in a day, or maybe you do the different discipline different days.
we need to first we need to divide the three discipline first before we combine all that discipline in a day or in a week. Why? Because you are not yet the body is not yet prepared to do all that discipline, so you need to gradually one by one do it, the three discipline. Not necessarily when you go at first race you need to combine that three discipline. No, that is not a proper way. So you need to single out or do the single discipline before you incorporate all the three discipline. So you need to master that. You need to master first swim, bike, and run, and then also the two discipline, which is the brick session, swim to bike, bike to swim, or bike to run.
For short, in 3 days, you start within about 2 months, for example, or 1 month, which is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 events, one
Yes,
event
coach.
per day. Yeah.
I have an additional words for you about the program. Just PM me or send me message or to Coach Dennis if you need the proper program about the sprint distance. I will give you a proper program so that which is if you want to train with your own self or do it with your athlete in a sprint distance, I can give you a program also.
Coach
I will
Joel,
send you program.
there is a question.
Yes, Coach.
Coach, what is the best way to stay motivated?
Well, you need to also train first your mind. Uh, if you stay positively motivated, do not think always on beautiful outcome that will give to your body or as an active triathlete, my always motivation in mind is why did I do it in the first place? Is it you want to do it because you really want to do something, or are you enjoying? That is my motivation because in my part, I always enjoy, and that is a fulfilling for me when I did finish the race and get my medal. That is my motivation alone with myself. Because in every FYI guys, every race when I join races in my age group, way back 2017 until last year, 2024, I am consistently the age group champion. So from 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, almost 7 years. What I did is, as I said before, well, when you want to become a champion or when you want your time to be lessen and lessen and lessen, you need to do the periodically time program. So uh,
Periodization.
yes,
Yeah,
periodization. That's good.
periodization.
That's correct, coach. So you need to be patient. Every time that you do your training, you need to shut down all, take notes, all your progression and time, so that you will become champion as mine, as I do, I should say.
There's a question. How can we improve our stamina?
Well, if you want to improve your stamina, as the previous speaker on the nutrition, uh, you need also to fuel your body. So when we said we need to fuel our body, so there comes the uh, nutrition intake, food nutrition intake, also the proper hydration, eating as well, and most especially sleep. That is the most important, that when you do to be strong and more efficient in your stamina, you need a proper sleep, at least 8 to 9 hours or 10, not less than 7 hours.
Actually, guys, if you're talking about periodization, okay, you will understand well to create a program and your plan if you understand the word periodization.
That's correct, coach. Thank you.
Coach, there's a question. Which
Yes,
is
coach.
better to kick in swimming, 2-beat kick or 6-beat kick or 4-beat kick for
It depends, coach.
triathlon?
When you do in the open water, coach, not necessarily that bit of kicking when you do it on a race day, especially in an open water. when practicing in a pool, in my part, that is a big question also with mine, because what I did in sprinting, 6 bits, which is more preferred to you. Your body will tell if you are comfort with the 4-bit drills or 6-bit drills. So when you apply that on a open water, that is not necessary when you do in that open water, because too much is the 4 or 6 kick bits in an open water. What I did tell you a while ago is you can switch on to your kicking or to your paddling. If you feel that your paddling or your arms is tired, then go with your kicking. So also vice versa, when your kicking is you feel tired, then go with your paddling. And then when the distance is already near, then go with both kicking and paddling. That is a race. Take note, that is a race. Because when you do both kicking and paddling in the first place, you feel cramps, and I think you cannot finish that swim alone if you if you do the power kicking and the power paddling, because you have lots of competitor near you or beside you. Okay, that time sometimes some swimmers or athletes pull your uh, pull your feet. Sometimes it will also paddling you, or what you call this one, when swimming beside you. It will submerge you sometimes. Many athletes sometimes they keep on pulling you in an open water. So make sure that when you go in an open water swimming, especially in a race event, you need to, what you call this one, uh, you need to be vigilant, or you need to be wise. Yes, you need to be wise, because many athletes will going to pull you and sometimes going to drag you. So if they do that to you, you need to focus on your swimming, uh, and not to do it faster. You need to focus on your technique.
Thank you to our speaker for triathlon. And we would like to take this opportunity to say thank you to the president of the UCSSC. Okay. Uh, guys, we'll take a picture